Okay, I took a pause or a time out to talk about Romanticism in terms of Roaring Spring. And I'm going to keep in mind that you've seen that, or at least you have some idea what I'm talking about when I talk about romantics and stuff. The next destination, and I'll be pretty quick about this, I'll try to be, is a little town on the Lake Lucerne at the upstream end of it. The name of the town is Brunnen, Brunnen. I'll give you a link to it, of course. And the view from there is not of a vast mountain. It's across a lake, Lake Lucerne, to very steep mountains, and even a stone named the Schillerstein, named after Schiller, one of the German Romantics. You see, this Romanticism was not just English and American, and I surely should have mentioned Heidi, the book Heidi. That's a Swiss. That might be the most powerful work of fiction to come out of the Romanticism in terms of affecting the world. Heidi. But anyway, I have not been able to find a video, cat hairs, that adequately gives the impact of the view across that lake into those mountains. Sorry, but I do want to mention Brunnen. I stayed there, I think, a total probably of 5 nights, because it was just one of those places that when I took students on tours, the tour company tended to use a hotel there called the Hotel Eden, Eden, Hotel Eden, and so I stayed there once with my wife. What that little town, well, it's gorgeous. I mean, but not in this sweeping panoramic view, like I said. One of the boys who traveled with me 3 times, he went to Europe with me. He's now a policeman. He's got kids, he's grown. But he said at one point, he says, "This is where I'm going to have my honeymoon. I'm going to come here for my honeymoon." He was about a 7th grader when he said that, or maybe 8th grader. Well, he didn't go there for his honeymoon, but he was just so taken with it. And at one point he said, we were standing, he says, "It just looks like a Lionel train should be coming up through there." Well, interesting, at Roaring Spring there is a train, steam engine pulled train that comes right up through Roaring Spring. But it's just that spectacular. Now, it was certainly swept up in that Romanticism, that movement, and there were various hotels there. There still are many. I could go out the back of this little hotel right onto the mountainside and start up a carriage trail that would go on up to the Fronalpstock, which I'll tell you about in a minute. And back in there, at one point, I wandered onto a kind of a abandoned, derelict hotel that was positioned for the view and all that. And I think I'd asked about that, and they said, well, with all the big resorts and stuff being built up higher in the mountains, it wasn't being profitable anymore. But I looked online. I looked on Facebook, or not Facebook, Google Earth, just now, and looked down. And it looked to me like that hotel had been revived and fixed up, and another one there as well, even though it was down low. Well, anyway, I could go on quite a bit about Brunnen, but it's worth checking out, and I'll give you a link to it. I even recommend you, if you have Google Earth, or get it, it's a great way to explore places that you've traveled. Look at Roaring Spring on Google Earth. But on one occasion, a Swiss girl who stayed in the United States here for a year, a foreign exchange student, I knew her very well. She came and met us and took my son and 2 or 3 other boys on a hike up to the Fronalpstock. Now, the Fronalpstock, to me that means front of the Alps mountain or something like that. It's a famous hike in Switzerland. And there I can find video that does it, that's adequate. You'll get an impulse or an impression of how unbelievable that landscape is. Uh, when I taught school, there was a math teacher there named Jack Pencil, and same age. And in his room, he had this big poster of a ferry down on a lake. It was incredible. And I told him one time, I said, I know exactly where that picture was taken. I know what that is. And he loved that picture. Well, come fall, at the start of a school year, he came and found that somebody had taken his poster and he could never replace it. He'd gotten it by just from asking for if they had any stuff at the Swiss embassy or something like that. So that was kind of tragic for him. I said, well, if you ever want to know how to get there, I can take you right there. I can show you. All right. So I'm going to move on to Lucerne itself. So what's the lesson to take from Brunnen for Roaring Spring? Well, I guess it's just how a small town doesn't have to be up on the top of a mountain. It can be really vitalized by simply its beauty. I guess that's what I'm saying. And reminding you of how powerful Romanticism was in showing, in waking up people's sight to that kind of beauty. Bye for now.